The clock is ticking. Sequence 13. She had just gotten home from work and was waiting for her food to be prepared when a knock sounded at the door, startling her. She knew it was Chard, but she ignored the knock, hoping he would go away. Another, more insistent knock sounded. "Mummy, someone is knocking at the door." "Shhh." She stopped her by hastily putting her finger to her lips. Trinny instantly fell silent. "I know you are in there, Mattie. Open up." The banging at the door echoed loudly. "Mattie, I am not going anywhere till you open." Silence. The knocking on the door slowly died down, and just when Mattie thought he was gone, she heard something. He was singing on the other side of the door. She couldn't even recognize the song he was singing because he was loud and he kept going off key. Finally, she couldn't help herself. Mattie burst out laughing. She laughed long and loud till she was in tears. "It's cold out here, darling. Open the door, then we can laugh together." She rose to her feet and walked towards the door and unlocked it. He was sitting on the floor. "Like, are you for real?" She laughed, wiping her face with the palm of her hand. "Yes. How do you even know my place? Are you a stalker?" "Do I look like a stalker?" He rolled his eyes, standing up. "So what are you doing here, Chard?" "I thought I said we would be going out for dinner tonight, or did you forget?" "I forgot." "Okay. Can I come in now?" he asked. "Chard." She snaked past her into the house before she could object, then turned and let his eyes run over her as she closed the door. She was wearing a pair of leggings and a t-shirt. This girl was a natural. She was beautiful even without makeup. He didn't even know why he was here. There was something about her that kept pulling him towards her. She was different from most of the women he had met. She had expected her to throw herself at him, but instead she had challenged him. "Earth to Chard." She clicked her fingers in his face. "He smiled. "You are beautiful." She rolled her eyes. "Thank you. I hope that comment doesn't mean I have to end up in your bed." "Duh. It was just a compliment." She walked him to the living room where watching television from. "So that's my daughter Trinity." She said. "Trinny, come and say hi to come Chard." Trinny stood up and went to politely greeting him by shaking his hand. "Beautiful girl you have here. I didn't know you had a child." "Thank you. Please sit down." "You are welcome. I have son," he said proudly. "Oh." She gasped in surprise. "But you don't like a father." "Ouch." She laughed. "Seriously, I will start looking like one." "How old is he?" 2. "Amazing. So our date." She yawned. "Let's have dinner from here tonight, and then next time you can take me to any place of your choice." "Sounds like a deal." "Sure." Asterisk asterisk asterisk. He knew he fell in love with her the minute her eyes met his in that coffee shop. Entering the café, she found a seat at the end of the room and ordered herself a cup of coffee. She had a slim figure that was shaped in the right places. She was a fair-skinned woman and had long black hair. She was casually dressed in jeans, a t-shirt and some brown boots. He watched her with interest from across the room. She seemed so at ease with herself. Minutes later, she put her cup down, paid the bill and walked out. His heart ached as he watched her walk away. He hadn't even been able to get her name. Sitting in his usual position, a week later he watched her as she walked in and sat down, unaware of his looks from across the room. For the past 7 days he had been coming to this coffee shop just to watch her, and the more he watched her, the more his admiration grew. He couldn't get her out of his mind. His heart swelled with want and need each time he saw her. He needed to tell her how he felt, but where would he start from? Finally, after 2 weeks of being frustrated, he made up his mind and headed for her table. "Hey beautiful." She didn't bother to look up from her phone. "Hey. Is this seat occupied?" "No." She shook her head. "Okay. So you come here often?" "Yeah. Can I get you another drink?" She put her phone down and looked up at him. "I am fine, thanks." "I am sorry. I didn't mean to bother you." He said. "Nah, it's okay," she responded before she focused her eyes back on her phone. He had eventually managed to engage her into a conversation and she didn't seem to mind, and that is how their friendship started. The duo would meet up at the coffee shop every single day. They talked and laughed about random stuff, though he had not yet opened up to her about his feelings. After about a year of knowing each other, he finally found the courage to tell her how he felt, and they started dating. At the start of their relationship all was fine and their families had become close with the hope of being in-laws in future. The trouble started when he started to control her. He wanted her to dress and act in a certain way, He was always angry with the decisions she made. She tried to hold on just for a little while, but things just didn't work. They weren't compatible, so she asked for time off. He was angry with her, but he knew he needed to work on himself if he was to have a woman like her, so he left, but throughout the years he made sure to keep a close eye on her. He knew she had only dated one man after him, and that same man was the father of her child. Somehow he was happy things didn't work out between them. He had spent so many years trying to be the best man for her. He had gone for therapy and done his best. He had worked extra hard and acquired wealth all for her, and now he was back to claim what belonged to him.